Welcome to part 3 of all my dungeon guides. This video will be about the Berserker progression for dungeons. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about armor. For your first armor, you could wear a strong dragon armor. You could really use any piece of armor as long as you could get to Catacombs level 2. When you reach Catacombs level 2, you want to switch to 3/4 rotten armor with a heavy chestplate. Once you reach Catacombs level 9, you want to switch to zombie soldier armor. When you reach Catacombs 14, you want to switch to Zombie Knight armor. The Zombie Knight armor does not give any HP, but it does give more defense, speed, and a lot more damage. When you get your floor 5 completion, you want to wear 3/4 Shadow Assassin with the Zombie Knight chestplate. When you reach floor 6, you can switch some pieces out for Necromancer armor if you are dying a lot. But keep in mind that the Necromancer armor gives no damage. When you get your floor 7 completion, you want to wear full Necron armor with a Tarantula helmet. And if you can afford it, get a golden head instead. If you are super rich, you could also get a diamond head. For the reforges on your armor, use Ancient. If you cannot afford Ancient, use Fierce. If you don't have the requirements to put on the reforge, I can do it for you. You can visit me and I'll just put it on for you or something like that. Or you could ask your friends to put it on for you. Just don't get scammed. For your ultimate enchantments, you want to use 2 Wisdom and 2 Last Stand. Once you're super rich, switch all of them to Legion. Now, let's move on to equipment. For the necklace, you want to use the maxed out Rift necklace. For the cloak, use a Shadow Assassin cloak. For the belt, use an Implosion belt. And for the gauntlet, use a Gauntlet of Contagion. Now, let's move on to pets. For your first pet, you want to get a Griffin pet. It is good, but not good. The first pet you want to get is a Griffin pet. You only need the uncommon one to get all of the stats and the ability which grants you a permanent regeneration 5 and a strength 7. The next pet you would want to get is a Tiger pet. The best part about the Tiger pet is that it gives 25 ferocity. You could also get the Lion pet, but this one only gives 5 ferocity. Ferocity just makes your damage output a lot larger. And a lot, you want to get a Withered Skeleton pet, because the 2 abilities make you deal more damage and take less damage from skeletons. If you feel like you don't have enough HP, use the Blue Whale or Baby Yeti pet. Baby Yeti is better for Berserker. The next pets you can get are both damage pets. They are the Golden Dragon and the Ender Dragon. The Golden Dragon gives a lot more damage than the Ender Dragon, but keep in mind, if you have a Golden Dragon, you need 1 billion coins in your bank. Now, let's move on to pet items. There are a lot of pet items, and here are the ones I suggest. Spooky Cupcake, which grants 30 speed. Tiger Plushie, which gives 35 attack speed. Minos Relic, which increases your pet stats by 33%. I do not suggest getting the Minos Relic because it costs a lot, and Dwarf Turtle Helmet, which cancels all knockback. I personally use the Dwarf Turtle Helmet. Oh yeah, and I forgot one other item. The subscribe button, which makes you subscribe to me. Before you pick which weapon to use, you need to choose if you want to use a bow or a sword. If you want to use a bow, just check out my archer guide and you could use those tools. In this video, I'll only show the swords, I will not show the progression for bows. The first sword I suggest you use is the AOTD. This sword is actually very good for beginners, and also when you right click it makes this cone that looks like your breath and it actually does damage. The next sword you want to use is the Zombie Soldier Cutlass. This sword is literally free and it gives a bonus 100% attack speed, and its ability makes you heal 10 hearts whenever you hit an enemy. The next sword I suggest getting is a Livid Dagger. It has a floor 5 completion, but it is a lot better than all the swords I've shown so far. If you have a lot of extra coins to spare, you could also get the Shadow Fury. It's just a much better version of the Livid Dagger. In this video, I'll only show the swords, I will not show the progression for bows. Yeah, so you might also want to get a Juju short bow because it is better than a Livid Dagger for damage. When you get your floor 6 completion, you want to get the Bouquet of Lies. You could also get the Felthorn Reaper. The last sword you would want is a Valkyrie. This weapon is very good for clearing and damaging too, and gives a load of ferocity. It turns out the best weapon you can get for dungeons is a bow, so you'd want to get the Terminator. Watch out because this bow divides your crit chance by 4, and if you don't have 100% crit chance, the bow is practically useless. For the reforges on the sword, use Withered or Fabled. I do not suggest putting those reforges on if you're only going to use that tool for a very short time. For the Juju shortbow, use Precise or Spiritual. And for the Terminator, use Hasty. It's now time for extra items. The first helpful item is the Wand of Atonement. Each time you right click, you heal 170 HP per second for 7 seconds. This wand is necessary for dungeons. The second item is a Florid Zombie Sword. Each time you right click, you instantly heal a certain amount of HP. The next tool is the Ice Spray Wand. Each time you land a right click on an enemy, they are frozen and you deal 10% more damage. The last helpful item is a Gyrokinetic Wand. Each time you left click, it creates a rift that pulls all the enemies into one location. Now it's time for extra stuff. You want to get the Hecatomb enchantment on the helmet, and you want to get 2 ferocious mana and 2 strong mana. And that's all I have for this video. Thank you for watching, and bye bye. If this video helped you out in the slightest, please tell me so, cause no one has told me that yet.